The Galactic Combat Academy's arena fell silent as Eliza stepped onto the crystalline platform. 10 champions from 10 different species stood arranged in a semicircle before her, each one a decorated warrior, each one convinced that humanity's recent admission to the Galactic Council was a bureaucratic mistake that needed correcting. Eliza was 19 standard years old, barely 6 months into her cadet training. Her instructors had warned her against accepting this challenge, but she'd seen the contempt in the alien champion's eyes during the cultural exchange ceremony. They didn't just doubt humanity's capabilities, they mocked them. Commander Vexthor, a towering Krillian with 4 arms and scales like obsidian armor, gestured toward her with one massive claw. "This is your champion? This child?" Tristan watched from the observation deck, his hands pressed against the transparent aluminum barrier. He'd tried to talk Eliza out of this for 3 days straight. Now all he could do was watch and pray that his best friend's stubbornness wouldn't get her killed. "Rules are simple," announced the arena's AI referee. "Non-lethal combat. Victory by submission, incapacitation, or ring out. The human cadet must defeat all 10 champions consecutively. Champions may not interfere with each other's duels." Eliza rolled her shoulders and took a breath. She wore no armor, just her standard academy training suit. No weapons except her bare hands. The champions laughed, a discordant symphony of clicks, hisses and bellowing sounds. The first champion, a Quellan speedfighter named Zix, blurred into motion before the starting signal even finished echoing. His species could move faster than human eyes could track, their nervous systems processing information at 3 times the standard rate. Eliza didn't try to watch him. She closed her eyes, Tristan's breath caught in his throat. What was she doing? Zix struck and Eliza moved. Not to block, but to be elsewhere. The Quellan's clawed fist passed through the space where she'd been a microsecond before. Eliza pivoted, her movement economical and precise, and delivered a palm strike to Zix's thorax. The Quellan's exoskeleton cracked and he stumbled backward, gasping for air in his lung analogs. "Ring out," declared the AI as Zix collapsed at the platform's edge. The laughter stopped. The second champion approached more cautiously. Thress, a Gordanian grappler whose species had once conquered 12 systems through pure physical superiority. She had 8 tentacles, each capable of crushing titanium, and a reach that made close combat seem impossible for someone Eliza's size. Thress lunged, tentacles spreading wide to ensnare Eliza from every angle simultaneously. It was an attack with no escape, a perfect trap that left no opening. Eliza ran forward, directly into the attack. What happened next, Tristan couldn't follow. Eliza seemed to flow like water through the tentacles, her body twisting in ways that shouldn't have been anatomically possible. She touched Thress 3 times, shoulder, hip, base of the skull, and the massive Gordanian simply stopped. Her tentacles went slack and she toppled forward, unconscious. "Pressure points," breathed Tristan, understanding dawning. But those were Gordanian pressure points. How did Eliza know them? The 3rd through 5th champions attacked together, breaking the rules in their desperation. They didn't care anymore about honor or procedure. They needed to understand what they were facing. Eliza danced. That was the only word Tristan could use to describe it. She moved between plasma bolts from the Hexarian sharpshooter, under the gravitational hammer of the Thrum warrior, and around the psionic assault of the Mindweaver. Every motion served 2 purposes: evading one attack while positioning for a counter against another. The Hexarian fell first. His weapon turned against him with a precision redirection that sent his own shot ricocheting back into his shield generator. The Thrum collapsed when Eliza somehow used his own gravitational field against him, amplifying it until he crushed himself into unconsciousness. The Mindweaver simply stared at Eliza with all 3 eyes wide in horror before fleeing the arena entirely. "Forfeit," announced the AI. 5 champions remained. They stood together now, no pretense of individual combat. Commander Vexthor stepped forward, his honor scars glowing with rage. "What are you?" he demanded. Eliza opened her eyes for the first time since the combat began. They were calm, almost sad. "I'm human," she said simply. "Impossible. No single species can master Quellan reflex combat, Gordanian anatomy, Hexarian trajectory mathematics, Thrum gravitational manipulation, and Mindweaver mental shielding. It takes lifetimes to master even one." "You're right," Eliza said. "For your species, it does." She moved again, and this time Tristan understood what made her. What made all humans different. Humans were adaptable. Not just physically, but fundamentally. They could learn anything, integrate anything, become anything they needed to be. Evolution had made them generalists in a galaxy of specialists, and that versatility had been mistaken for weakness. The remaining 5 champions attacked in perfect coordination, each one a master of their craft. But Eliza was a master of all crafts. She used Krillian combat forms against the Krillian. She matched the Vulthans' plasma manipulation with redirection techniques stolen from 3 different martial traditions. She predicted the Serene's probability calculations because she'd studied their mathematics during the voyage to the Academy. One by one, they fell. When Commander Vexthor finally lay on the ground, his breathing labored but steady, Eliza knelt beside him. "I studied," she said quietly, "every species in the Academy, every combat form, every weakness and strength. I learned because that's what humans do. We adapt, we learn, we grow. You trained your whole life to be the best Krillian warrior. I trained 6 months to fight everyone." Vexthor's eyes, all 4 of them, widened with something that might have been respect. "We couldn't define you," he rasped, "because you refused to be defined." Tristan rushed down to the arena floor as the medical teams arrived. Eliza stood swaying slightly, exhausted but unbroken. He caught her as her knees buckled. "You're insane," he said, laughing and crying at the same time. "No," Eliza smiled weakly. "I'm just human, and that's enough." The Galactic Council never questioned humanity's place among the stars again. The story of one human cadet who faced 10 alien champions spread across 1,000 worlds. They tried to explain what had happened, tried to define what made her dangerous. They couldn't, because Eliza wasn't special among humans. She was typical. And that terrified the galaxy more than any weapon ever could. Humanity had arrived, and they brought with them the most dangerous capability in the universe, the refusal to be limited by anyone's definition but their own.